All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Alpha Traders. Here we are once again in the midst of a Bitcoin dumperoo. So what's Bitcoin going to do here, huh? Kind of going sideways after yesterday's dump. But that being said, so are traditional markets, right? It's going to be the calm before the final storm. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to find out. There's a bunch of knuckleheads all over the place saying, I don't care what anybody says, we're in a bear market. Well, you know what? Whatever these people want to think. None of them know how to trade anyway. So it's all good. Alpha traders, we use volatility, probability, and statistics. There's no such thing as a bull market, a bear market. All there is volatility, and it doesn't matter which way it's going. Price is always fluid for us. That's one thing that we all have in common. Right now on this weekly probability chart, like I showed yesterday, Bitcoin is below the mean of this projection from the 41K low, right? You can see how when we started rising out of that 41K hole, we came up, rejected twice to the dollar off the 95.4% Laplace distribution range to the downside, went sideways, got another little, we went sideways along the 68.3% Laplace distribution range downside from this dump from 60K to 29K. You can see this is why we use these distributions. They're very powerful. So it goes sideways across here. We got one more wick down, tested that 68.3, then we bounced, got our 70K all-time high, pulled back from there, right? I mean, here's the first 65K high. Profit taking. Go sideways. Go back up. 67K high. Right? We got this little bump back up to like 55, had a little more profit taking. Then we got this bump back up to 70K. People taking profit again. Then we get some bad news about the Fed, right? They're gonna the rates are gonna hike up a lot sooner than everybody was anticipating, I suppose. But hey, this is all market FUD, right? That's why when you trade volatility, you really don't care. This down move was already happening. So people are like, oh, well, it's the Fed, right? Yeah, it was bad news. Sure, it was bad news. This price is already going down, right? That's what usually most people don't understand. It's like, you show me the price action, I'll tell you the news. The price action always starts doing something. Then they're going to come out and they're going to try to FUD the market, just like with the scamdemic dump, right? Just like the scamdemic dump right here. This market was already coming down, right? We had this little top out right here at about 10.5. And then the next couple weeks, right here's February, all the bad news came out about March. And we had this big slam down. So the market was already doing its thing. People just want to think want to think that all the news is what crashes the market. No. They use that to their advantage, right? That's not what's going on. Let's make this real simple. There's either more buyers than sellers or more sellers than buyers. Everybody tries to complicate this so much. It's incredible. It's not complicated at all. People are like, well, this is la, 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 la. It's like, okay, well, there's more sellers than buyers right now. Period. The end. When we start getting more buyers than sellers, the price will go back up. There's only one way to figure out that, though. The volatility, right? Use an entropy. Are we in trend? Are we in randomness? This is what people don't realize, which is fine. There's always going to be a ton of people on the other side of volatility traders' trades. That's all we really care about. That's why, you want to come over to Alpha Trading. You want to learn how to trade with volatility, probability, and statistics. We're here with open arms to accept you and help you figure out this game. If not, good luck to you, sir. Firm handshake, right? Good luck. It doesn't bother us at all. We're chilling over here in Alpha Trading, right? All right, so yeah, really not much more I want to show on this probability chart. I went over it thoroughly yesterday. Let's see what's going on with Bitcoin today, right? What are we doing? We're ranging, right? Let's see what percentage of a daily range this was. Yeah, about 2%. That's literally right on the borderline where we're probably going to range. Usually 1.5% and tighter, you're going to have a nice trending day, but this is up at 2%. So where are we ranging at? This is the 68.3 daily Laplace distribution range. That's all we've been doing all day. Now I was looking right here, when we opened up the new day, I was looking for a test to the first standard deviation in this weekly price action volatility support level right here to get tested. It did not. I was talking about it on the stream because we did do a end of the day stream yesterday, like the 44.5 area. I've got tested. We got up to about 43.8. So I've just been chilling. Haven't been doing much trading today at all. Playing around with some magic internet JPEGs though. Oh boy, what an addiction. I'm a degen. Let's see here. But yeah, as far as Bitcoin goes, very boring day. Now there are some alts that definitely were popping. Cardano was actually up about 5.5% at one point. Let's see if there's anything over here. Yeah, Matic was up almost 3%. YFI, but you notice that usually Bitcoin usually has a little struggle. You'll see like Wi-Fi, right? You'll see it have a little pump. Sometimes Badger likes going to run. It dumped today though. What alt really got cream pie? Band, of course, right? Band yesterday got up 20%. So Band had the biggest dump today, down about 6.5. Rook DAO as well. Or what is that? Rook is just the name of the token. I can't remember the name of the DAO exactly. Yeah, down 11%. Back over here on this chart real quick. What did traditional markets close at? Yeah, down spot, just down a little bit. And I even saw gold and silver getting wrecked too. Yeah, gold's down like $20, 1%. I think it was down a little more. I think it was down about $30 earlier. Kind of pulled out of the hole a little bit. Looks like FTX token, right? Having a good little day. 3.5%. Bitcoin shorts on Bitfinex piled on a little bit today. Some more longs fell off. But I'm telling you, just like when I was talking about this chart, man, we're in this 68.3 range, right? You got perma bulls going, oh, this is just a little pullback. We're just looking for some signals. We're going to pump back into a bull market. You got the bears going. We're doom and gloom. Bitcoin's going to negative $1 million. Look, we're in this distribution range right here. Bitcoin is stuck. So what's Bitcoin going to do? It's going to shake people around, knock them out of their positions. Wouldn't be a bit surprised to get a bounce down here somewhere. Wreck some of these shorts that don't take the profits. But I can tell you one thing for sure on these higher time frames. There's bull div being created between price action and returns. Let's go to the daily. Bull div. We're talking bull div on Z-score, bull div on returns oscillator. Now the Z-score really hasn't set in place. Now, if you take into account here, and here's what I try to explain to people. Continuation of these lower lows. Even this low was a lower low from the beginning of this freaking downtrend here, right? So we got all lower lows. Look at the Z-score, all higher lows. Now this Z-score hasn't put in a low yet, but you can damn sure bet that if this does turn up here, that's just more bull div. And considering the returns oscillator on the daily, there's definitely bull divergence, and there is a bottom on the returns oscillator. There's bull div on the DLP from and I'm talking about when we had an outlier on the DLP and got got below the 99% confidence interval. That we're talking way over here, all lower lows. I'm telling you, at some point this thing's gonna pop out of here. Where's the bottom though? Everybody's trying to figure out where the hell the bottom is. Nobody knows. That's why we trade volatility, right? Doesn't matter. If the charts tell us we're going down, we're going to get into some shorts. If the volatility is telling us we're going up, then we're going to put in some longs. It's pretty simple. And we're going to take profit at the distribution levels. Speaking of that, I got somebody in another Discord wanting to try to figure out a little something about volatility trading. I can get back to that guy. I just sparked my own memory in that special. Now the weekly. Let's go onto the index. I'll get some good. There we go. I was talking about this yesterday. If this returns oscillator can stay above this zero mean, put it this way, towards the end of the week here, right? Tomorrow's going to be traditional market weekly close going into the weekend. If Bitcoin can get a pump out of this and we can create a higher low on the returns oscillator, I'll tell you what, right there, we're gonna get some bull div on the weekly. It's been a long time since we've had it, right? Long time. Here was the last. Show you right here. Right, got a lower low right there, and a higher low right there. And we had this run up, boom. And then what created this run up? Well, hidden bull, right? You got this time, instead of a lower low on price action, you got a higher low on price action. Instead of higher high or a higher low on the returns oscillator, you had a lower low on the returns oscillator. This pump was caused by bull div. This pump was caused by hidden bull divergence. And then you want to even get deeper, high, lower high, right? High, higher high. We're still playing out the bear div from here. Now here's one thing. Let's see here, this data set. Boy, that's pretty weak bear. A little bit of weak bear. Actually, to be honest, let me get a little shot here. Let's see. Definitely at a lower high. I'll tell you what, man, this is pretty, yeah, lower high there too. So no, this definitely is not any sort of bear div. Rid of those. So yeah, that's interesting. Big time. And if we can get this Z-score to turn back up, could be good as well. Could be good as well. 100%. But at the same time, look at the Z-score, right? High, higher high, high, lower high, hidden bear div. Z-scores rolling over. Do like the weekly though. This variance is turned up positively correlated. One of the problems is we have dropped below the 33 length variance log MA. Talked about this yesterday on all these high time frames. How we have broken some levels that really don't want to be broken. And of course, we're negatively correlated expanding volatility, right? We got the correlation for the historical volatility Z-score going negative while Z-score is rising. The correlation of the entropy is telling you to the downside. Now it's still random though, because what you don't want to see on this weekly entropy is it going to this. This was the pump. This is when you know the market is trending. The entropy is telling you the market was trending. Well, look at the price. And our candle colors, right, are the same as the entropy, which I really like. So since we had that first 65K top, right, This is all random. All random. We lost our trend the week of March 8th, 21. Guys, literally almost a year ago, right? Literally almost a year ago. So, all trend. I mean, all randomness, as you can see. We tried to drop into trend right here, back up to the top side, but no, we got stumped. So what I do like seeing on this weekly, though, let's see. Here's that 40K. I'm telling you right now, if this thing dumps out anymore, I'll be surprised if we stay below 40K. I'm looking at the 40K area to be the bottom. We could pop out of right here because there is some bull div building, like I said before. Let's look at the 5-day real quick. Steady. I mean, when you get out, look at this. So on this pullback right here, you can see the Z score on the 5-day. We get outside the 99% confidence interval. The Z score makes its way back up. Now it tapped the 99% confidence interval to the top side. Now it's working its way down. How far is this going to go? So I'm looking for. But another thing, look at the returns oscillator. It has set a bottom, right? It has set a bottom with a higher low. Price action, lower low. You got to find a bottom here. There is no bull div yet until you find a bottom on that price action, right? The returns oscillator is set, and I got a little clue in for people out there that don't know what the hell returns are, or why we're always talking about returns. Price action follows returns. That's why we use the divergence between price action and returns, right? When there's divergence between price action and returns, it's literally flashing you a signal saying the return on your investment is diminishing, right? That's exactly what it's telling you. And this is what you learn when you continue to study these types of things. You're not going to, I'll tell you what, the things that we've done at Alpha Trading are pretty incredible. One day we will be recognized for what we're doing, right? There's not a book out there you can buy to explain to you what I just said. These are things by using this continually over and over and over again, we begin to realize we are the trendsetter, right? Now, I'm not, these high frequency trading firms, hedge funds, big options guys, they've been using volatility, probability, and statistics to trade for decades. But you will never see any of them talk about the divergence between returns and price action. You will never hear any of them talking about correlating their volatility to price action. We have taken this to another level, right? And like I said, one day we will be recognized for what we've done, right? We're just a little hidden treasure right now. We are a diamond in the rough. And to be honest, we like it that way. We like a nice small group of people learning how to volatility trade. It's perfect for us. That's what we're not out here spamming our trading system. We're not doing anything of the sort. We're literally putting out videos on YouTube trying to explain to these retail traders what the hell is really going on in these markets, trying to help you out a little bit. And if you want to watch our YouTube vids, great. You want to come over to our Discord, the link's in the description of all our videos. Great. Open up a support ticket. Tell us what's on your mind, man. Tell us what's on your mind. All right, so that was a 5-day. Now, 3-day, we got to go back pretty far, but there's definitely, I mean, here's the thing. If you look at when you go back on the 3-day, here is pretty much the low, right? This is as far back as I'm going to go talking about 3-day. This is the low. Every one of these are all higher lows. Now, of course, we have not found a bottom here. Look at the correlation of the return read on the 3-day. These blue columns back here are telling you the correlation for that read between returns and price action. It is strong to the downside. So this move is not over, in my opinion. The Fishers are both turning back down on the 3-day. There is no bull div building. There's no bull div building on the deviation log pro, right? There's a little bit on the Z score. It's finding some support. on the 95% confidence interval. But then look at the variance having an outlier to the downside. People are like, well, that's going up. That's not to the downside. Look, variance is not a directional indicator. Variance goes up and contracts. Variance expands, contracts, expands, contracts, expands, contracts, expands, contracts. See how that works? But and this is what I was talking about before, there is nobody correlating these things. When you have an indicator that is not directional, if you take a Pearson correlation and you correlate that indicator to price action, it becomes a directional indicator. So when you see the variance rising, right, at the beginning, it's positively correlated. And we have this little move to the top side. Then it goes negatively correlated with an outlier dump, right? It dumped for about the first 3 candles. This final big candle, the variance was coming down positively correlated. That walks the price action all the way down to that low right there. Powerful little booger, huh? Yeah, and on this 3-day too, we've got the Shannon entropy percentile contracting, positively correlated, just like volatility. When you're in contraction, you're positively correlated to price action, price is going to come down. Negatively correlated volatility expansion, price is going to come down. So what I am seeing here, though, is the historical volatility z-score heading into positive correlation, z-score heading up. This is the only good thing I'm actually seeing there on the 3-day, to be honest. Everything else is in the doghouse, especially since we broke this 99 length. Whoops. Variance log MA, just like the 2-day, the 5-day, the weekly. All these candles were barely hanging on. Now, and I don't remember if you, right? I always talk about candles are created by volatility. Now, if you remember in my stream last week, I was pointing out these candles, right? And the lower highs of these wicks. The buy pressure was decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. And when you see that, and when you're barely hanging on to this 99 length variance log MA, whoop, flush time. It was like that on almost every time frame. See if there's any better news on 2-day. We can literally get a bounce here on the 2-day z-score. This is the log return z-score, to be exact. That'll just be more bull divergence, right? You can see how it played out here. All these lower lows, right? Higher lows on the z-score. Then pop right back up to, where'd we get to? 52. Yeah. So if we do get a bounce here on the z-score, that would be good. That would be real good, because to be honest, there is no bull dip. Now, here's what I do like seeing, though. You can see on the 3-day how this correlation was building. Look at the new 2-day correlation. That's telling you that the correlation between this returns oscillator read and price action is decreasing now. Usually things roll uphill, right? So this read's going to move up into the 3-day and up into the 5-day and up into the weekly. This is definitely a good sign. I'm not saying it can't continue down. If we get another sell-off, you're probably going to see this correlation turn. But right now, it is telling you this is decreasing. But we got this historical volatility z-score, right, coming to the downside, positively correlated. We're contracting volatility. Actually, a little bit of expansion. Blow this up. Yep. Right here, this started the down move on the 2-day. Contraction, positively correlated. Expansion, negatively correlated. Right? Starts to walk down. Then boom, as soon as you expand negatively correlated, you get a nice little flush. And okay, there's there's no bull div on the returns oscillator, but like I said, it's building still on the Z-score. It's still building on the deviation log pro. But I am starting to put a lot of weight on the Shannon entropy percentile and the correlation of it. One more indicator. This is not a directional indicator, right? This is not a directional indicator at all. When you correlate it to price action, it becomes directional. See, when we get this big expansion in Shannon entropy percentile and it's positively correlated, goes significantly correlated right here. That took that price action from about, that was the 29K low up to about 43, $14,000 move. Same here. We start getting the expansion negatively correlated. This little down move right here. Then right here, it shifts positively correlated. We get an up move. Then it goes negatively correlated back down. This thing's great right now. Expanding, negatively correlated. What are we on, the 2-day? Oh shit. Now remember when I was talking about entropy moving up through the time frames? Entropy on the 2-day is trending right now to the downside. We need that to cease and desist immediately because it is trending on the daily too. But I'll tell you what, when you get a darker red candle, that's actually telling you the correlation is decreasing. That's what you want to see. When it's bright pink like that, you're going into trend to the downside. And you can see it. The entropy's telling you, hey, we're trending, we're going down. But now the correlation is definitely decreasing. And Shannon entropy percentile, boy, it's load this correlation up. Yeah. Correlation is heading back down, negatively correlated. And this 2-day candle, we are contracting from the last one. And here we go, right? And then the daily. Well, we already showed this. If we can get the Z-score turning up here, we're going to have the bull div has already set in on the 2-day. I mean, there is bull div on the DLP from way back here. These are all lower lows. These are all higher lows. And I'll tell you what, when I see this 9-length fissure this far outside the 3rd standard deviation band, there's some hope. I mean, I don't like to use the word hope, but for all you bulls out there, there's some good things that look good. There are. Now let's go more intraday. Let's pop down here. But as usual, we come down in these lower time frames. We got some hidden bear divergence planted firmly in the between returns and the price action. Right? High, lower high. It has definitely set in. High, higher high on the returns oscillator. Hidden bear divergence. But the thing is, man, the Z-score is low. Can it go lower? It sure can. But I'm telling you, once you get into these confidence intervals, at some point, you're either going to have that down move or you're going to get this bounce out of there. Now on this 4-hour, there was peaks and valleys. This was all very tradable for a 4-hour chart. It's pretty much flat, positively correlated. Yeah, price is going to come down. We're in a little bit of trend still on the 4-hour, but you can see when you get outside these standard error bands, excuse me, the entropy usually pulls back up inside. We're right at it, top one right now. You see this drop back down into some brighter blue. Yeah, for all you alpha traders that do have this indicator, whatever colors you're using, keep an eye on that entropy to see if this thing wants to continue to trend to the downside. We had this little bit of relief on the 4-hour, right? After the big dump, you can see it was contracting. It went into negative correlation, but now boom, correlation's going back up to the top side. I've said this a million times. Volatility trading is the only thing that matters in volatility trading is expansion and contraction of volatility and the breaks of correlation that are associated with it. Okay, it's very important. Study it. Study your volatility chart. Tell you what. It's 90 minute though. Definitely back into randomness. But the entropy right now is starting to expand. Let's see if this correlation on the next 90-minute candle, which we're going to get at the daily close. Let's see if this turns positively correlated with this entropy percentile, right? Expansion. That's what we want to see here going into intraday tomorrow. We want to see this go positively correlated, and we could bounce out of this hole. Because there's definitely bull div. There's bull div on everything. Bull dip building everywhere. Every indicator that you can see how I have my chart set up. I use all these for divergence, right? And this is my variance. It's going to tell me what's going on. What is variance? Variance is the spread of data around the mean. What are the levels around the mean? They're standard deviation levels. And the standard deviation of returns is volatility. This is why we trade volatility. And this is why when variance rises and it's negatively correlated, shown by the outside line being pink, and you're having an outlier, which is telling you it's a fat tail event, you're having more than a second standard deviation move, this is what you get. And this is what I've told the alpha traders before. Look, if you want to just swing trade, right? This is kind of for a second. I thought I was on the 4 hour. If you want the intraday trade and you're watching the 90, the 45, the 15, and the 5 minute, and if you see a freaking outlier starting on the 90 minute, man, these are no brainers, right? These are great scalps. This was more than a damn scalp right here. It was a $5,000 move almost. But all these little outliers you see on the variance, right? They have all been negatively correlated. Here was the last one that was positive. This nice big 90-minute candle right here. You can see the outside blue positively correlated, rise in variance, having an outlier. All right. Let's even drop down farther now, 45 minutes. So everything rolls uphill. Let's see, this is actually, I'll tell you what, you can see how when we had that dump, right? Boom, look at the 45 minute, man. It hammered hard in the trend. Historical volatility Z-score had an outlier going up, negatively correlated. Volatility expansion after volatility dropped off a cliff right here, more than 50%. Yeah, about 50%. And then boom, as soon as it expands, negatively correlated. Every one of these indicators is telling you price action was going down. Even the Z-score, high, higher high, high, lower high, starts to flush, get the outlier on the variance. See how all this works together? And the lower time frames you drop down into, the better chances you have to getting a good entry. When people are trading traditional technical analysis, that's their biggest problem. That's their biggest gripe. You see it all the time. I'm having so much trouble finding good entries. I keep getting wrecked. This game is all about getting good entries. For Christ's sakes, anybody can read a chart once you study any type of technical analysis. But if you can't get a damn entry, you're screwed. You're screwed. Because number one, you're being taught absolutely abysmal risk management strategies. First off, being putting a freaking stop loss in the exchange. I don't care what anybody says. All these YouTube gurus, they can fucking jump on a boat and go to an island and all have a freaking bonfire together and party or do whatever. We're not having it over here. We don't put stop losses in the system. Why the hell would you want an exchange to see where your stop loss is? You do realize they're trading against you. If you don't know that, or if you think that's FUD. It's not FUD, it's truth, it's reality. They're trading against you. They have operatives that are trading on their system. They're being fed this information. Know it. It's happening. So why in the world Same thing with profit taking. I hear people all the time. Same thing with putting orders in the system. How many times do you see people say, "Oh man, I knew price was going to come down. I put an order and it got front ran." Or I had to take profit at this level and oh, it got front ran. So then I had to chase it down and mark it out of my position. They know where all these are at. The retail traders are all being taught the same freaking strategies. They're all putting their take profits, their entries, their stop losses in the same spots. That should be proof enough what's happening in these markets. It's insanity that people don't see this. It's not brain surgery. People are just, I don't know what the hell they think. Oh, those exchanges would never do that to us. Oh, my government would never lie to me. I mean, it's the same thing over and over and over again. People are so dumbed down, such sheep, you know. Pardon me if you're one of them. It's a true reality, though, man. Wake up, think for yourself, learn how to volatility trade. You see how when I get upset about how people trade, how it just makes me go off on a damn rant? The microcosm is the macrocosm, right? This is some good philosophy to understand. Everything that's happening on a bigger level is happening on a small level. It's just the way of this crazy ass world we live in. It's sickening. So, get back to it. We don't put stop losses in the system. We have a mental stop loss. And why can you feel comfortable without putting a stop loss in the system? Because we get good entries. We get good entries. I'm telling you right now, if you start having an outlier, right, and a rise in variance, you don't have to worry about it. That baby's running. It's running. If you know about entropy, right, Z-score, all these indicators. This is why we get good entries. Okay. Let's see here. Boy, boy. Yeah, it's 15-minute, man. It's 15 minutes just by going sideways. Tell you right now, I mean, we're starting to get these log return moving averages crossing back up. Herein lies the problem. You got the 99 and the 144 up here. Now, mark my words. If this 15-minute, if we can get price action back up above these, disaster averted, at least for a little while. And who knows? I mean, MJ was even saying, hey, maybe they dump it down to right here, like 42.5, and then they run it back up to like 50, 52, and then they fucking send that thing down to 40 or 35. Would you? I mean, hey, man, Bitcoin does what Bitcoin does. It's wrecking longs, wrecking shorts, just one after another. Let's see here. We are putting in a little bit, actually. Yeah, we're putting in some hidden bear divergence right now on the 15-minute chart. But that being said, there's no div on the DLP. There's no div on the Fisher, and the Fishers are bouncing up from the second standard deviation. But look at this variance. One thing when you use a variance as an indicator that you're going to know, think of this as a rocket ship's heartbeat. It's sitting on the launch pad, man. It's vibrating. You're going to get a rocket. This is going to happen. Variance does not like to stay like this very long before you have a massive expansion, right? At some point, when you go sideways like that on variance, you're going to have these major pops in it. It just happens. The Z-score on the 15 minutes, literally, I mean, we're just hanging out right in the middle, but there's no bear div. No bear div at all. The div that there was hidden bull, right? Higher lows on price action, low, higher low, low, lower low, low, lower low, right? We had hidden bull. That's what's popping this 15-minute right now. Same thing with the Fisher. Low, lower low, low, higher low. We got hidden bull div on a lot of different stuff. And 15-minute, the Shannon entropy is starting to expand, positively correlated. We are random, but look at the correlation. for the price action to go to the upside. This is why this indicator is great too. This is what people don't understand. The market's random 80, 90% of the time. But when you can correlate that entropy to price action, this correlation's strong, real strong. I want to see, this is E-score, literally down here about 3.5 standard deviations, right? It's starting to head back up. We want to see the correlation pop up, positively correlated. We're having some expansion positively correlated right now in the volatility. That's good. I mean, I'm telling you right now, this is how this works. You know, we had a little rejection here off the 9-link variance log MA, had a little bit of a rejection there, had a little rejection, got a little bit up above the 33, had one more rejection. The fact this thing has been beaten up against this 9 and 33 and hasn't flushed out again down to 40K, kind of a good sign. We're getting back up above it right now too. We're trying to get up above the 54, right? You can see the 9 has crossed up the 33. The 9 was trying to cross up the 54. It's turned back down because of this. If we can close today, this 15-minute chart here in the next hour and 15 minutes, above this 54 and start getting these to cross up each other and making a run towards this 99, this thing can bounce. Remember, I was talking about that 44.5 area, right? Price action going to have to get back up above. Everything starts on a low time frame. So I'm looking at the 15-minute, right? You jump down here on the 5, everything probably already has. Yeah, everything's definitely starting to cross back, but it's going to start flowing upstream. The 5-minute, it's going to fluctuate a lot, right? You're going to have a lot of cross downs and cross ups. 15 is where I really like to start. We want to see this 9 cross all of these, the 54, the 99, the 144, and then in suit, right? Then get the 33 to do it, then the 54 to do it, then the 99 across the 44, 144. But like I said, Bitcoin's got a tough road to hoe. On here after close for NASDAQ. NASDAQ's kind of chilling. It's a little chill time. Yeah, there's that 15-minute trend. We had that real dumperoo. Yeah, random ever since. All right. We had this little bit of trend right here, and we got this pump on the 15-minute. But now we're back. It doesn't get any more random. The entropy's flashing white. And the correlation to the downside is definitely decreasing. Like I said, we're having this expansion in percentile of entropy positively correlated. So that's good. Ah, goodness gracious. Didn't even realize I had my door open. See my white horse out there? Yeah, I think towed 26,000 pounds right there, baby. Let's see here. I wish I could get some more. I mean, obviously, it's anybody looking at a monthly chart. I don't care what indicators you're using. You're not going to get a lot of freaking history. Just trying to see what's happening. Yeah, overall from the top on the monthly, right? Here was the high of that monthly candle. It's lower highs, right? Contraction overall, big time. Right here, when we contracted on that monthly, it was negatively correlated. So we popped up, got that 70K high. Since then, though, right? We pop back up, it's contracting, positively correlated. Boom, last 2 months down. Entropy percentile, contracting, positively correlated. DLP coming back down off of, yep, from this point and that point, right? Bear div. Same thing with the returns oscillator, high, lower high, playing out that bull div. But from that point right there, boy, oh boy. We're actually on the Z score. This Z score turns back up. There's some hidden bull on the Z score. That's about it. Not a lot, but this is I mean, you never want to see actually, I mean, we dropped below the Gaussian mean on the monthly right here, right? Got back up above it to get that 70K high, back down below it. And the monthly first standard deviation band is below 20K. Top side's probably almost 184. And I talked about this before where the volatility on the daily is real low, 2-day, 3-day. Just let me check real quick. Then we'll go back. Yeah, daily volatility was pretty crushed right here. Nothing's happening yet. There's no expansion yet. 2-day, no expansion yet. 3-day, 3-day, there is a little expansion, negatively correlated. So you go up here onto the monthly, and remember when I said before, when we get a full expansion of volatility on these higher time frames, monthly included, right? Here was the last one, 100%, right? It was on the dump, and then it went back up to 100 on this pump up to the all-time high. So when we get that full expansion again, we're talking 20K, 85K. These are the two. This is the standard deviation levels to the downside and to the top side, first standard deviation level. So I'll be looking at that for some good targets. If this thing really wants to get wild, which Bitcoin does it well, doesn't it? Bitcoin loves to get wild. What's it 1SC on the 5-day? 55. Lovely. Downside's 40K. And like when me and MJ were talking, he was like, hey, maybe they run it back up to 50 area. Then they dump it down to 40, 35. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I think we're going to see 40K before 50K, to be honest. Because we drop down here right now. Let's get it over with. Because here's the thing, especially when you go up onto yeah, we want to go all the way up onto macro, onto a monthly, right? This is bullish as hell still. This chart is very bullish. Price action would have to close a monthly candle below 35,000 to wreck this, right? It can go that low, close a candle. But I would like to see maybe this monthly candle close right around 40K. We're at the beginning of the month though. So this could be maybe we pull out of the hole here. Right? This is why we trade low time frame volatility, because no matter what Bitcoin's about to do, we are prepared. We're prepared for it. We're just sitting around waiting. Kind of like this 12-hour. When you get onto these high time frames, man, and you get this DLP outside the 99% confidence interval, you get these fissures down around the third standard deviation. You got the returns oscillator got really outside the second standard deviation band. You've got the freaking Z score log returns got outside the 99% confidence interval. This thing's due for, I mean, we could pop out here. We really could. I got a dog over here all starfished. Larry's. Holy shit. Taking up a whole 6-foot couch. You put this dog paw to paw, he's taller, he's about 7 foot. And he is in full starfish, twitching, dreaming. Good, better than bugging me. I think that's about it. Let me see here. Got Takumi, the major. Nice. You guys got any questions? You want to type in the stream chat? I know MJ was on a conference call in the background. He's always wanting to learn how to trade. Maybe he's got a question. I'm just fucking. Yes, I'm trolling MJ. Yeah, thanks to Kumi, for sure. Yeah, it is. And if you're in this Discord, if you're watching this video, no, you're in the right place, man. No, you're in the right place. People have trouble. They're like, well, why haven't I heard any of this before? Well, because they don't have these high frequency trading firms that are programming their algorithmic trading with all this stuff. I'm telling you right now, man, they're not standing on a street corner with a bullhorn going, attention retail traders. You know what I'm saying? They don't want retail traders to know about all this. 100%. You're not going to find this type of trading online. You can Google some of the words you're hearing: Z-score, normal distribution, Laplace distribution, right? Variance, entropy, all these things. You're not going to find a lot. You're not. It's just not out there. There's not too many people talking about this. There's another camp that they create similar indicators to us, and they talk about volatility trading. It's too bad they don't know how to trade, but yeah, it's all good. There's very few freaking people talking about this stuff. And the mainstream YouTube Jimmies out there that even talk about volatility, they don't understand about the correlation of volatility to price action. There's not one of them out there. I tried to help one guy, blew me off, which is fine. He's my buddy anyway. I don't care. I got nothing against old Mr. Crown. But tried to explain to him about the correlation of volatility to price action. It's all good. Change your trading forever. Variance, right? Z-score, returns, especially the divergence between returns and price action. You can lead a horse to the water. You just can't make him drink of the volatility. That's all. Yeah, man. Of course, Takumi being a long-term Bitcoin holder. I'm always an optimist for sure. I'm always an optimist. Oh, MJ wants to know what volatility is. It's the standard deviation of returns, my friend. It's the literal spread of data around the mean. That's very volatile. Oh, now I got both of the founding fathers are typing. Comedy show now. What's going on? Yep, exactly. Yes. Volatility is volatility does. 100%. It's just volatile. So this will be interesting. And now we go up to these higher time frames, right? And when I talk about the intraday trading, it gets even tougher when you get up here. Where are we on the 4 hour with these log MAs? Yeah, remember I was talking about that 44.5 area. I'll tell you what, this 9 at the close of the day is probably going to drop down to about 45.5. Let's go over SVRE. Here's going to be a problem. All right, when we open up the new day, let's see, we're getting ready to drop down this daily price action volatility range, and I got a news flash for you. It's going to be very tight. It's probably going to be within $100, I would imagine. It's going to tighten up big time. This green dotted line right here is the first support level of that weekly volatility range. That has turned into a very strong resistance. That's why, like last night, me and MJ were talking. I was begging Bitcoin to get its ass up here. I was going to see how it reacted, and I was going to short the shit out of that son of a bitch. 100%. Because especially The first standard deviation was right there too, and both of them were inside the daily volatility range. That when you see something like that, it's a no-brainer short, 100%. Of course, you don't want to just put an order there. That's another thing. When volatility takes hold of a move, once it digs its heels in, that's when you put an order in. That's when you put a take profit in. That's when you put an order in to get an entry. This is where people make mistakes, because once volatility gets hold of a move, I don't care who it is running the show, they have a hard time stopping that thing until where it's going to get to where it's going. But when you have a bunch of retail traders already putting orders in, they can get the jump on it. But that's why, as a volatility trader, we jump out of a freaking out of a foxhole throwing grenades, man. This price action volatility range is probably going to drop down here to about mid four. It's probably going to be nice and tight, maybe 43 up to 43.3, maybe tighter somewhere. Price action's right at it. We're really close to it right now. So we got about another hour. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Because I'm still looking for this area to get hit, and it's the first standard deviation again is going to be pretty close to it. Especially if this price action this last hour, we can pump back up here to maybe the 68.3 up here. It's looking like I showed you on that 15-minute, that entropy was expanding, positively correlated, that entropy percentile. So if we can get back up here to 43.6, that's going to pretty much put a nice tight daily range right up in this area, and probably we'll get a first standard deviation around here again. I mean, because I'm going to say it again, obviously. Macro bullish. Would you start going down through the time frames, though? Bitcoin's got a lot of work to do, and it's going to be an area like this. It'll probably reject some price action if we are going to go to that 40K area. So I'm looking for some shorts, man. I'm looking for some shorts. But I'm not that guy that's just, I always got to be in a trade, right? I take advantage of my indicators. I make sure I get in a good trade. All right. But all that being said, got to get out of here. If you're watching this on YouTube for the first time, we are Alpha Trading. We trade volatility, probability, and statistics. The link to our Discord is in the description of all our videos. Come check us out. Open up a support ticket. Check out the shop channel. We got 2 different levels of the Discord that gets you access to the Alpha Trading system. I want to thank you guys for watching live in the Discord, and we will be here tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Wherever you're at in this crazy ass world, have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. See you tomorrow, guys.